Wrestlers transitioning to jiu-jitsu.
Mm.
That's the topic that we're going to focus on today. What do you think the benefits of wrestlers transitioning to jiu-jitsu?
All that grappling experience definitely does play a factor. I definitely wouldn't have the amount of success I have now without all the wrestling that I've done. I've wrestled for like 9 years, from like middle school, high school, some college as well, and so definitely just like sheer intensity wise, because there is a definitely difference between like a wrestling intensity and jiu-jitsu intensity. Wrestling is very much go, go, go. Whereas jiu-jitsu, you can be a little bit more passive, and there's a lot more going on, I'd say. So, but to have that like urgency, which I would say you don't see as much in jiu-jitsu tournaments. It could really, especially early on, you'll see a lot of success. But, you definitely can become over-reliant on it for sure. And then you have to, if you want to be successful in jiu-jitsu, you have to learn some jiu-jitsu for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I feel like wrestlers have a lot of advantage coming into jiu-jitsu, especially, when it comes to competing. Like, I feel like their wrestlers know how to make weight. Mm-hmm. They know how to, mentally prepare themselves for competition. And they also know how to go out there and perform. Mm-hmm. So I really do feel like wrestling is a really nice base. I feel like the wrestling conditioning is very close and can translate really well. It's a little bit like, I feel like wrestling's a little more fast twitch.
I'd agree.
And jiu-jitsu is a little more slow twitch. And so you can feel like the guys who do jiu-jitsu and not wrestling, they have just like a really powerful squeeze. And then the guys that do like wrestling, they're really, really good with their agility and their cardio, but they don't necessarily have a good squeeze. It takes a little bit of time to develop that squeeze. I think it took us some time to develop your squeeze.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I was like, just securing subs and all that was difficult, especially in the beginning, because I would just using like every ounce of strength I have trying to like crush people, and then in reality not actually doing that much. Where if we're just grappling, I'm gonna like toast them on the feet. If we're in a neutral position, I'm taking them down at will, and I'm smashing, and I'm securing any position that I want. But for finishing the match and like actually getting it, getting the sub or anything like that, it was not happening as much early on, or at least not against like good people. It wouldn't really be happening. So it's definitely an adjustment that had to be made.
I mean, I definitely see that for sure. Like, I know for me, like as a coach, like when I coach people that only have jiu-jitsu experience and then only have wrestling experience, I know that wrestlers are extremely coachable. They know how to be coached. I know sometimes they struggle with getting away from the bad habits when it comes to like head placement issues. Like a lot of wrestlers will dive with their head in for like double legs and single legs, and I can easily get guillotines on them and set up chokes on them and stuff. I know, but once they fix that becomes a lot better. I mean, they become really hard to deal with. They're really hard to obviously take down, but like not only take down, like sweep or just try to hold them down. Like when I try to get on top of them and like pin them or hold them down, they're just constantly scrambling and making it life hell for me, But yeah, I feel like they're really wrestlers they know how to like learn grappling, and it's just like translating that, to jiu-jitsu, and it's just a little bit of adjustments you got to make. How was it like taking off the shoes and wrestling bare feet?
Oh man, my feet were cut up, man. Yeah. It was not fun. Like every day, just raw. It was just bleeding all over the place. It was a problem for sure. And well, you get used to it eventually. Start getting calluses to get some tougher skin, and you'll be all right. But there's definitely like a grip thing that has to change. Good little story about first jiu-jitsu tournament that I went to. there was a guy who put on a full singlet. He had wrestling headgear on, and I was like, I need this guy to do well in this tournament. I had such high hopes for him. Then he proceeds to get a takedown in every match he had. It was a round robin. Get a takedown to start off, like a beautiful double leg, nice little high crotch going on, and then immediately got subbed as soon as they touched the floor. Guillotine triangle over and over again. I think it was 5 matches, and he lost all 5. 5 takedowns, then he got submitted 5 times. And I was like, you're making us look bad, dude. I was like, take off the single, go home. Christ. It was I was up and downs of emotions for sure. Watching that guy compete.
So what would be your advice for wrestlers that are trying to get into jiu-jitsu? What kind of advice would you give them?
Stay open. I think it's easy to fall into the trap of being too stubborn and like, well, I'm better at wrestling than this guy, so I'm just going to wrestle him. It's foolish. You signed up for jiu-jitsu to do jiu-jitsu, so you should be doing jiu-jitsu. Even though there will be growing pains, even though you will get subs, even though you will experience a hardship, play off your back still. You know what I mean? Play bottom game. Even just in the gym too, especially. If you go out and compete, obviously you can switch around a little bit, stick to your strengths, and get your wins. But I think overall, especially in the training room, you need to be embracing all parts of it. Really diving headfirst in because you're already really good at one thing. Do you want to just have this enormous gap in all of your other things? You know what I mean? I feel like that would be the dumb choice that too many people will fall into.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
No, I think that's really good advice. I think as a coach, my advice would be is be patient. If you think you're going to come in here and dominate, reality is going to set in quite quickly. You're going to have to develop, like Onyx says, like some jiu-jitsu. You also have to, get rid of some of your wrestling habits. They're not bad for wrestling. They're just bad for what we do in here in jiu-jitsu. Like head placement issues when you go for takedowns, going belly down, not wearing shoes. Like these are the type of things that, you're going to have to take a little bit of time to get used to. But once you start learning jiu-jitsu and get used to those habits, man, you're going to be unstoppable in here. So I do recommend trying it out and giving yourself, 6 months, a year. Just be patient with the process, embrace the process, and I think you can really be good. I feel like wrestlers have the base to become world champions. Thanks for watching, everyone. Like, subscribe, and we want to continue to make content like this and discuss other topics in the jiu-jitsu world. And thank you again.
Mm-hmm.